Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. As part of our Customer Success Initiative, today is the first in a series of webinars that we aim to deliver on a monthly basis between product training, product updates, and tips and tricks to help maximize your use of the platform. Just a small bit of housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation or have some feedback, please do type them into the question box in your GoToWebinar control panel. We'll answer as many as we can at the end. If we cannot get to all questions, we'll answer them separately by email after the webinar. All questions are welcome. Some of you may know me already. My name is Chris Dunphy. I've worked here in the support desk in Aphix as a team lead for the last number of years. I've recently moved roles here into the newly formed customer success team. And today I'm being joined by our product specialist, Neno Karadzhov. Hi, Neno.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
Excellent. Thanks very much. Good morning to all of our customers. Super excited to join you here today and to show you the exciting new things in the management interface. Having worked in Aphix for the last 7 years, I feel like today is a proud parent day. What I mean by that is looking at all those years back to the original version of the management interface and the older menus and layouts, we've really come a long, long way. We believe that this new grown-up version offers more focus, more productivity, and more efficiency for you, our customers. We have reinvented, repurposed, and refocused everywhere possible. I'm super excited to show you these updates and looking forward to this demo and session.
Thanks, Neno. So like we just mentioned there, we are presenting the new and improved management interface, which we've just soft launched in December gone by. You may have noticed that new button on the top of your dashboard recently. The purpose of today's session really is to cover that new button and the new management interface that sits behind it, or MI for short. Neno, can you give us a taste for what we'll be running through today on the new interface?
With pleasure, Chris. The first thing that we will look at together is the new dashboard. We've updated some layouts. We've offered easy to digest usage statistics based on analytics data from your system, and we've given you more sorting controls for better visibility on background tasks and logs. We'll also take a look at the new redesigned collapsible shoulder navigation menu that offers more real estate on your screen for more focused work. We have some fantastic and exciting new updated icons and granular menu controls with an intuitive new design and easier to access menus. Of course, we will show you the quick links to frequently used menus based on what you today do as our customers and where you spend most of your time doing the important work that you do on a daily basis. We'll also take a look at how to quickly filter catalog views by product type, settings, or status, and the easy-to-use sorting controls for all of these. We'll show you some new updates on the category menus and what we've included there in a simplified single page view that offers the most important information for your categories. We're going to go through some handy tips and tricks for carrying out bulk actions throughout the catalog and the orders menu. We will show you how to get the preferred data formats and layouts and how to drag and rearrange menus to your liking. And of course, we will show you the easily to access support and documentation shortcuts. We'd also like to remind you about the newly launched App Store that we recently launched in the last quarter of last year. This continues the theme of giving you, our customers, more control and more self-service options. Excited to show you all of these things today and share handy tips and tricks with you.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Neno.
Thanks, Chris.
I suppose, and we'll get into it in a bit more detail now in a moment. But I'm really curious, what would be, from your perspective, what would you think would be a really, really good feature now in place that customers can get really good use out of, something that's practically, very helpful and that will make their lives easier on a day-to-day basis?
That's an excellent question, Chris, and one that I've struggled myself because there are so many new things that I'm so excited about. But the one thing that really has to jump at the forefront is the new way to carry out bulk actions for the product catalog throughout the menus. Previously, let's say you were running a promotion, or let's say you had to do some quick product updates and you had a range of 5 or 10 or 20 products that you needed to update on the fly. For you to be able to do that, you would have had to use a spreadsheet. Now, we all love spreadsheets and we all love bulk updates, as we know, through the use of different systems, whether it's an ERP system or an e-commerce system or a catalog or data management system. But we believe this saves you quite a lot of time throughout the life cycle of the usage of our products. And I'm quite excited to show you how it works.
Perfect. Thanks, Neno. I do love a good spreadsheet. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Neno. I'm going to maybe jump in every now and again and probably ask a few questions here and there. I don't want you to be put off your stride, but I might just do that every now and again. But we'll turn this over to you, Neno.
Thank you very much, Chris. Can you see my screen okay?
I can indeed.
Excellent. Well, let's start with how to access the new management interface. You have a prompt in the top left-hand side corner to be able to try out the new redesigned and updated features and layouts. Once you've accessed the new management interface, you will be on the same default screen that you currently have on the existing management interface, which is the dashboard screen. This displays analytics and information about how your system is used. Here, you can use this information to inform your sales strategy and manage the day-to-day operation of your Aphix system. You'll be able to filter each data set by date range and or currency if it has been configured for your business. The first two things you will see are the orders by value and the orders by volume. We've redesigned these. We've added some color to make them a bit more exciting, and we've made them more interactive. So as I hover through the sections here and through the orders by value and the orders by volume, I can see on any particular day in the year how the business is performing. We've added additional sorting controls. So traditionally, you were able to see the last month or the last year to date or the last 30 days running. We've now given you weekly, monthly, quarterly, and custom ranges, which is quite handy. It's a simple snapshot that gives you an overview of how the operation is performing. We've also given you a download option in SVG and PNG formats. Separately, if you have analytics plugged into your system, such as Google Analytics, for example, you'll be able to see the same information on page views to see what visitors are looking at your site and how many per day as well. Finally, we have added some of the more important background information that may be running from your ERP system, whether that's a background syncing task, whether it's a product update for stocking statuses for products, for example, or whether it's a monitor that runs on the system to tell you what the health of the system is. All of this has been brought to the forefront to give you more visibility and to make it more obvious. And of course, you have the dedicated menu for the same as well.
It's very helpful, Neno. Sometimes in the past, perhaps it just purely by way of, again, scrolling down on a page, it's maybe something that somebody may have missed, or maybe they're not aware of all those background jobs. So kind of having it brought to the forefront there is quite helpful. Or if you're accessing it on that little shoulder navigation there as well on the left, that is quite handy.
Absolutely, Chris. We've tried to make this as intuitive as possible to help you give you a snapshot of all that important information to inform your sales strategy and manage the day-to-day operation of your system. Along with that, we've redesigned the collapsible shoulder navigation menu. We do believe that this will give you more real estate on your screen and more focused work. Of course, This is currently available in the existing management interface. However, we've added some tweaks to it and updated icons and granular menu controls with an intuitive new design to give you easier access and to make it more pleasant. As you go through the menus, as you hover over them, you'll also be given the name of those menus so that you don't have to open the show the navigation menu again for easier access. Based on your usage today as our customers, we've also grouped the most commonly used menus that you work through today. This will give you quicker access to the most important sections of the management interface based on the type of work and the type of role you have in your organization.
So broadly, we've seen from our own analytics, these are the top 7 or so areas that customers broadly would be using on a regular basis.
Absolutely, Chris. I'm running with the theme of focus, productivity, and efficiency. And running with the theme of giving you more real estate on the screen, it makes sense to be able to give that shortcut so that you don't have to keep jumping in and out of that full menu width view on the left-hand side.
Brilliant.
Let's take a look at how to filter catalog views, shall we, Chris?
Please do.
So jumping to products from the shortcut menu. On the outside, I can see the most important information about my product catalog, such as the code, the name, the last updated date, the product type, and status of the product. Let's say I wanted to filter some of these products. I can quickly and easily do so. That will allow me to make informed decisions about the range that I'm working with. This works based on the status, the product type, whether the product is a featured product or not, and whether the product is on a special offer or not. These easy-to-use sorting controls also include the new ability to decide what headings and columns you're looking at when working with the catalog. The reason why we believe that this is important is we appreciate that there are different roles within each customer of ours. So for example, you may be working in the marketing department, and the only thing you may want to worry about on a particular day is the meta description of products or whether or not they're featured or whether they're on special offer, especially if you're running on promotion. So you can easily exclude columns that are not relevant to the work you're doing today and focus solely on the things that you're working with, such as the last updated date for a product and the meta description. The new easy-to-use sorting controls can easily identify blank information as well. And now on to, sorry, Chris, go ahead.
And I was just about to say, and previous to this, if you wanted to export out products, it was on an individual basis or going into a category. Is there a way now? I think you've really just shown us there on your last click. Is there a way you can export out the products from this page view?
100%, and this is one of those things that I mentioned earlier that I'm more excited about as a part of the new updates. We can see a range of products here on my screen at the moment that haven't been updated in over a year. I can see that they don't have descriptions, or meta descriptions rather, should I say. I can select a bunch of products, and with the new bulk actions, I can export them and modify them. I can disable them in the catalog from customers seeing them, or I can send them out as featured. So again, something that previously would have taken you anywhere from 15-20 minutes to an hour, depending on the range of products that you're working with, is now going to take you 5 to 10 minutes max, again, depending on the range of products that you select. And these new bulk actions give you that productivity and efficiency. I believe it's very valuable, Chris.
Nice. Yeah, that is very, very handy. Just from that point of view of if you ever like, some of these products may have no relationship to each other or very little to do with each other, that they're not in a category per se, and beforehand you'd have to manually go through each product and add them to your own spreadsheet to perform updates. This way here you can kind of grab tag those by filtering them down first, getting the products and exporting them out. So I can imagine how this would save people a lot of time. Very good.
Absolutely, Chris. One of the other important updates that we've made is that any contextual menus, such as language menus, have been added to the particular view of the menu you're working with. So previously, these would have been available in the main section in the header of the management interface, but now they're available throughout the catalog and throughout the menus you're working with. So here I can quickly and easily switch to the different languages if so it happens that your product is configured for additional languages. And this is true across the board, throughout categories and throughout products and throughout pages. So if I'm on a particular product page or on a particular category page, I can now easily and quickly switch to the relevant language that I want to make that update in. So it's not a handy way of giving you a shortcut that will achieve more focus and productivity for you. But on to the category relationships and the changes that we have made there. So going to my shortcuts again, rather than opening the show navigation, as I want more real estate on my screen for more focused work. The first main change that we've made here is that we've added the product count immediately on that single page view. And the reason why we've done that, it was one of the most commonly requested features over the last number of years. Some of the feedback that we received from you, our customers, that has been very valuable is that when you're making strategic decisions about how to drive the catalog, to drive more engagement with your customers throughout the site, or when making decisions how to build that catalog menu and what that's going to look like on the front end of your web shop or product, like Sales Rep or Pocket Shop, is that you'd want to know immediately how many products are in that category, and separately to that, what is the relationship between them? So how are these category nested? Of course, that information is available today in the existing management interface. However, its representation can sometimes be a little bit cluttered. We do believe that this is a more simplified and simplistic view that allows you for more efficiency and more data-driven decisions. Particularly if you're a Pocket Shop customer, one of the important updates that we have added to the screen is the ability to immediately find what the category ID for a particular category is. The reason why this is so important is that that homepage on Pocket Shop targets categories based on their IDs. Of course, you can get that information today from the existing management interface, but again, it's not presented in a simple and effective way. And we have added the option here to allow you for that quick view information for more efficiency.
Thanks, Neno. That is very helpful. And again, I know I'm nearly repeating myself, but it's these small little things, practically that product count. But previous to this, you'd have to click on a category, wait for the page to load, scroll down the page, see the number, go into the other category, repeat. Whereas now you have one page, there's your product count. That's it. Really, really simple and very good for somebody who does want to just have a quick one-eye overview to see, like you said, for sales rep or anyone out on the road. You can see exactly which number of products are in which category, and it makes life far easier. That's great.
Exactly, Chris. You've summarized it quite well. I want to talk to you about the preferred data format and layout and the new drag and rearrange options that exist throughout the different menus today with this latest update. So if we head over to the orders menu in order to show you this, I can grab any particular heading and column and drag it in the order that I want it to be in. So here, a lot of the most commonly requested feature over the years was, how can I have a more granular and easy to use way of looking at the different orders that I'm getting through the system to identify what customers are buying what. And of course, if your system's integrated to any of the different ERP integrations that we work with today, we would always advise you that that is the source of the data you should be looking at. However, if you wanted a single source of truth, and if you wanted a simple way to be able to export some basic information that will allow you to make informed decisions about the sales strategy and the managing of the day-to-day operation, and to see how the business is performing in conjunction with those updated dashboards on the first page, you can quickly and easily rearrange these menus. You can also pin the most in columns to the left or to the right. So for argument's sake, I want my customer information to be here, frozen to the left. Then I want my order ID not to be there, my date not to be there, but I do want my payment type and my currency to be there. From here, I can quickly and easily sort by the type of payment. So for example, if I only wanted to target credit orders or PayPal orders or Paytro orders, depending on the payment gateway I have configured, I can quickly and easily select that type. And this will give me only credit orders. And then maybe I want to only look at pound or euro orders, for example. So let's add the date back in. And now I can also specify a particular range that I want to look at. So let's say I'm doing an audit of the previous quarter. So let's go to September of 2022, remove the filter for January and adjust it to December of 2022. And now I have a targeted export for only these type of orders, for only that type of payment, that I can quickly and easily export and target that particular data range for those particular customers for those type of orders. So again, running in the theme of focus, productivity, and efficiency, this is how simple and easy it is today to modify the information that you're looking at, arrange it in the way that you want to see it in, and export it and make informed strategic decisions.
That's handy, Neno.
Absolutely, Chris. Of course,
very helpful.
We don't underestimate the fact that with all these new changes, you will want to access support and documentation. As always, this is available through the shortcuts in the top right-hand side of the menus. Highly recommend that you visit Aphix Assist for the latest updated documentation on all matters webshop and on all matters Aphix and on all matters sales rep and pocket shop. And of course, our knowledgeable and helpful colleagues in support are happy to answer your questions through our help desk. Our frequently asked questions are also available to you at any time. And with anything new, we love feedback and we love making new updates based on the important and vital information and feedback that you give us today. So please do give us some feedback on how you feel about the latest updates to the management interface. Lastly, I would like to remind you about the recently launched App Store. You remember, Chris, that earlier in the year, we launched some additional settings available to a lot of our customers to give them control over certain company information that appears on the site, or how their stock appears, or how their pricing appears throughout their products. Running with the theme of giving more self-service and more control to our customers, we launched the App Store with the idea that you can configure any payment gateway of your choosing from the most popular payment gateways that we offer today, that you can add a third-party add-on without the need of assistance from support, and that you can also inquire about our premium industry add-ons and features that either drive your product per industry or with the focus of digital marketing. All of these are available to you today through the recently launched App Store, and we'll be adding more and more and more to this as well. This summarizes everything that I wanted to show today, Chris, and I'm happy to answer any questions from our customers now.
Super. Thanks very much, Neno.
Thanks, Chris.
I appreciate that. Okay, folks, so just a reminder, please be sure to type those questions into the question box in the control panel. And when we see a couple come through, we'll take a few. Looks like we have a couple of questions now. Okay. This one is from Thomas in London, and he asks, when will the new MI become the main one? I suppose what Thomas was probably alluding to would be, when will that button disappear, and when will the newly set up and developed MI, when will that be the only one in town?
That is an excellent question. Thanks, Thomas. With anything, we give you time to get used to these new changes. We don't plan to enforce this immediately. You still have a good few weeks with access to the old management interface and trying out the new management interface. Like I said, we do welcome your feedback. We do want to make this even better and more productive and efficient for you. So any feedback that you have, please give it to us as we polish off the latest few things that we're trying to adjust and amend, and as we introduce more and more changes that we think are going to be beneficial. We're going to allow for that time and for that settling period before we make this new management interface the default. So you still have a bit of time. And of course, anything that we do make as a default version is going to be communicated in plenty of time for you to make those adjustments, so not to worry. But a very valid question, and thank you for that, Thomas.
Next up is Brian here in Dublin. Do my preferences get saved on the customizable menu for future use when I sign in on a different day? That is good. I was wondering that myself.
That is a fantastic question, Brian. Thanks for asking that. It's actually an important point. So the new management interface, and actually even previous versions of the management interface, are a shared space. So what does that actually mean? It means that if Brian, myself, and you, Chris, are logged onto the system and are making changes, we're seeing default information. So if Brian goes ahead and customizes those views to his liking in order to do the work that he wants to do, that is going to be kept while he's making those changes. When the page is refreshed, or if he logs out of the system, the menu is going to be reset back to its defaults. So why do we do that? We appreciate that you may have experienced staff internally that are well used to the management interface and to how the system works. However, when you're trying to onboard new staff, they need to kind of get the nitty-gritty of what the default controls are and what the default layouts are. So if somebody has customized the views like I did, for example, with that orders export, and they come along and that's kept in place, they may think that you can only see, for example, orders by credit and orders in that particular currency. So for that reason, throughout the menus, any custom changes are only kept for that user at that moment in time and are then reset to the default layouts. But a very, very good question, and thanks for asking it, Brian.
And another one is from Jennifer in South Africa. Is this all the updates for the management interface, or will there be more updates in the future? If so, are there timelines?
Wow, thanks, Jennifer. Very, very, very good question, and one that excites me. The way I like to answer this is a house is never really finished. So what do I mean by that? We're never really done with our work, and we're always looking at exciting new ways to offer you new functionality and new features. The most exciting next thing that's just around the corner, as it's currently finishing its final internal tests, is the new visual page builder. For anyone that is a seasoned pro with blocks and CMS pages from the existing menus, I'm certain they will appreciate what amount of knowledge you need to have to be an expert of how you control what content appears on a page, how you layer your banners, how you add on your promotions for products and categories, and how you display that page, and how much thought and effort has to go into that. The new visual page builder, in my opinion, is going to be groundbreaking, and I cannot wait to share this information and to show you what that looks like. It offers the ability to preview these changes live before the page is published and to give you a better idea of what the page is going to look like. It has simplified and easier to use controls at your fingertips with simple drag and drop menus that will allow you to be more creative and that will avoid some of the errors that happen today with the slightly more complex block menu. Cannot wait to share those updates. They're just around the corner. More news coming on that soon. Excellent question, Jennifer.
Is there a limit on orders to be that can be exported? That's from Stephen over in the US.
Another excellent question from our customers. Thanks very much for that, Stephen. We try to increase the limit. A lot of our customers, and you as well, as you know, Chris, know that the current higher limit is, I believe, 1,000 orders, if memory serves me correct. It's not that we didn't try to increase that and to give you more capacity and more information to be exportable. The issue with that is you inevitably hit a limit with how much data, for example, is being exported to Excel or to any other system that you might be using for that purpose. So in order to keep things optimized at this moment in time, that limit still exists. Of course, we're always looking at new ways of how we can improve that and how we can make data more easily digestible. But in future updates, we might revisit that. At the moment, that limit still exists. We do believe, however, that with the new granular menu controls and custom filters that we went through earlier in the demo, in the orders menu, you will be able to target only the information that you want to work with. Again, whether that's per currency, whether that's by order type or payment type, or what customers you want to look at, you will have more focus that way rather than exporting a bulk of data and then doing the work separately in Excel. We've given you those options already in the orders menu. So I think that takes care of that one, Chris.
Very good. And I think we've time for one more. This is from Guy in Dublin, and he's wondering, is there any documentation for the new MI?
That is an excellent question. And a very valid one too. And through that link that I was showing earlier in the shortcuts for Aphix Assist, we have published an update to what the Aphix management interface screen layouts look like now. And we've given you handy shortcuts for where you can access anything to do with the layout of the dashboard, controls for everything to do with the shop menu for shipping services, discounts, orders, and customers, as well as your content and configuration of the system. So that is available right now on Aphix Assist. We'll be posting that link afterwards as a follow-up from this webinar. We do believe my colleague Sarah has published some excellent updates in there with a lot of detail that will make your life easier as you transition to this fantastic new layout and new menus.
Great. Thanks a million, Neno. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. We appreciate you being here. The customer success team will be bringing more content and some training refreshers, some new product features into these webinars, at least a minimum of once a month for the foreseeable future. So stay tuned for more content. As mentioned, we'll be replying back to all of your additional comments and questions directly that were not answered today. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Pleasure to have everyone here today. Exciting times ahead.